Objective number 6. Form the sum, difference, product, and quotient of two functions. The notation of the sum, the product, the difference, and the quotient of the two functions is in the parentheses. Like this. It's very simple. If we want to find the sum of the two functions, we just need to add the two functions together. Similarly, for the difference, we just minus the two functions together. Product we multiply, and quotient we divide. Now, we need to find the domain of the sum, the difference, the product, and the quotient. The sum, the difference, the product are the same. The domain is that the intersection of the function f and the function g. In the quotient is have to g of x have to be not 0 because g of x is in the denominator. Before we do the problem, let's understand the notation this is called the intersection. The meaning of the intersection is common. It means both satisfy. For example, if I have a student A take math, English, and history, and student B take chemistry, swimming, and biology, and math. So student A union student B, it is the subject that they take in common. So they take math in common. So that will be math. So the domain of the sum, the difference, the product, and the quotient have to satisfy both functions. Except for the quotient, g of x have two different from 0. Example number 10, we are given the two functions f of x and g of x. We need to find the sum in part A. By definition, this is mean f of x plus g of x. Now we just go ahead and add the two functions together. We will need to find the least common denominator. So least common denominator is x plus 2 and x minus 1. And we have the same denominator now, x minus 1, x plus 2. We distribute the top together, multiply them together. So we will get x minus 1 plus x squared plus 2x. And then we will combine like terms. So x squared plus 3x minus 1 over x minus 1x plus 2. The domain for this function is, let's look at the domain for one by one. The domain for function f of x is all real number except for x equal to -2 because it has the denominator. And for g, x not equal to 1. To find the interval that satisfy both, they have to be the interval that exclude that two numbers, okay? So the domain of f plus g of x is all real number except for x equal -2 and x equal to +1. So similarly for the difference, we just go ahead and subtract the two functions together. So we have 1 over x plus 2 minus x over x minus 1. Similarly, we will find the LCD. The LCD is x plus 2 and x minus 1. We have the same denominator now. We need to distribute the top and combine like terms. So we notice that because this one has a minus, when you distribute, it's become minus 2x. Now simplify like terms, negative x squared minus x minus 1 divided by x plus 2, x minus 1. You can try to factor the top, but I don't think you can do anything more with that. So we answer the domain is all real number except for the two number negative 2 and positive 1. Right here you can factor out a negative 1 right here. So you will get, and then we put the minus in the middle, so you can get x squared plus x plus 1 over x plus 2, x minus 1. But then we cannot do anything more. In problem C, we want to find f times g, the product. We just multiply function f of x times g of x. For the multiply, we're looking for factoring and cancellation, but we don't have anything to cancel, so you just write out the answer like this. So multiply the top together and the bottom together. And similarly for the domain, in part A and B is all real number, and x not negative 2, x not 1. In part D, f divides g of x. So function f is 1 over x plus 2, and function g is x over x minus 1. So let's look at the domain. We're going to simplify that for later, but now let's look at the domain. The domain will be x not equal to negative 2 and x not equal to 1. And also we have to combine g of x not equal to 0. So g of x is x minus 1. If g of x not equal to 0, let's think about the 0 first. What if g of x equal to 0? This is the fraction. If the top equal to 0, for example, you have 0 divided by any number, it will give you the result is 0. Then x must be 0. If x not 0, then g of x will be not 0. Okay, so g of x equal to 0, x have to be 0. If g of x not equal to 0, then x have to be not equal to 0. The interval that satisfies 3 conditions is all real number except negative 2, 1, and 0. Now we go back to simplify the fraction. So we have 1 over x plus 2, then multiply the reciprocal of the denominator. We cannot simplify more, then we just write the answer, multiply them together and write out the answer.